Hello everyone, welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to implement logout functionality in our web application. So it's very easy, guys. So let's implement it now. Okay. So let me create a new user, sign up, and I want to create a Java cafeteria user. Java cafeteria at gmail.com. On password I will give test@123 and click on submit button. Let me copy Java cafeteria email ID and now click on submit button. So user registered successfully, right? So if I try to log in with Java cafeteria, password test@123 and click on login button, so we are able to log in successfully, right? But as of now we cannot log out our web application because we haven't implemented logout feature, right? So who are all watching newly, you can subscribe Java cafeteria channel and you can learn Spring Boot development skills. So now let me create logout hyperlink in home page. So for that we have to modify home.jsp, right? So let me go to home.jsp, and home.jsp I will create a hyperlink anchor tag and I will give logout hyperlink, and we have to provide the URL, right? href is equal to, so slash, so what is the URL to log out our web application? So logout slash logout. So this logout URL we haven't implemented it actually, right? So this logout feature by default Spring Security is providing us, right? So the moment you enable Spring Security to your web application, by default logout feature and login features are enabled. So in this lecture we'll implement Spring provided default logout functionality. So now here I have given slash logout URI, right? So the moment you click on logout link, so we have to log out from our web application. So now let me open the browser and let me log in again, or let me refresh because already we have authentication, right? So I just refresh the page, so we can see there is a logout hyperlink is created in home page. So but this is not look good, right? So generally logout link will be available in right side of the corner, right? So let me align logout hyperlink properly. So for that let me create one div tag, and inside after that end the div tag, and so div tag will have let me add class style is equal for the time being we are hard coding the style sheets, right? So now how we can make it logout hyperlink in right side? So float there is a float attribute. With the help of float key, so we can use uh, to show logout link in right side. Okay, we have to show logout link in right side of the home page, so right corner of the home page. So float should be, you have to give right right. There is a property called float, uh, along with there is a style attribute, right? So along with the style attribute we have a float property. By using floats cascading style sheet, so we can use uh, float colon right, so that our logout link will be shown in login sorry home page right corner. Okay, so now let me refresh the browser. You can see, so now logout link is coming right side corner of our home page. So now if you click on logout, you can see we are getting exception, right? So 404 because we haven't implemented logout URI in our login controller. If you open login controller, there is no logout URL, right? So because of that, we are getting 404 exception. So now how we can handle this? So later I will implement custom logout functionality. So in this lecture we will implement we are going to use Spring Security provided default logout URL. Okay, so how we can implement that? So we have to modify custom security configuration. So in custom security configurations, so we already implemented login page, right? So login page. Similarly, we have to write the logic for logout. So after login, so this login is default form login is not required actually. So before implementing our custom login page, we used to use Spring Security provided a default login page, right? So this is not needed, so we can comment it out this one. Now we can use our custom security, sorry, Spring Security provided custom sorry, whatever login page which we have created, that login page we can use it. Okay, so here now we can implement logout feature with the help of, there is a method after form login. So anywhere you can use, there is a method called logout. So use that logout method and it has a lambda expressions. Use login object or logout. So after that, so logout object is having, so there is a you can see, let me explain you. So if you want to log out your application, first we have to invalidate session, right? So internally Spring Security will create a HTTP session and our credentials will be stored in security context, right? So while log out, we have to invalidate our HTTP session and also we have to remove credentials from security context. So logged in user credentials we have to remove from security context. So these two things we have to implement before logout. So for that we have a method called to invalidate session. There is a method called invalidate HTTP session. So we can pass boolean value, we can pass boolean value true. So what is the meaning of the statement? So we are invalidating the logged in user HTTP session which is created by Spring Security. So now again, so we have to remove credentials from security context. So now there is a method called clear authentication. You can see there is a method called, why it's not showing? So we have to type dot after, so logout dot invalidate HTTP session. So no need to use logout, just dot. You can see clear authentication. There is a method called clear authentication. We can pass boolean value true. So what is the meaning of this? So if you go to inside HTTP session, so there is a context logout handler. So context logout handler in the sense security context. So from the security context it will remove HTTP session. Similarly, there is a clear authentication method, right? So if you go to inside clear authentication implementation, here also there is a context logout handler. If you go and check, there is a security context logout handler. So if you open this security context logout handler, so you can see there is a security context available. So from the security context we have to remove HTTP session as well as logged in user ID credentials. For that purpose we have to use invalidate HTTP session method as well as clear authentication. So invalidate HTTP session method will remove the session from security context. Similarly, clear authentication method will remove logged in user credentials from security context. So after that, so once these two are removed, we have to show, sorry, we have to redirect to, sorry, we have to provide logout URL. So by calling slash logout URL, which is provided by Spring Security. So how we can use that URL? With the help of, there is a set of methods. You can see there is a set of methods. So you can check logout handler, logout success handler, and you can see logout request matchers. You can see logout request matcher available. So right, so there is a method called logout request matcher. So by using logout request matcher, we can provide Spring Security provided default logout URL. So use this method logout request matcher. So inside that, so it will have the argument called, you can see there is a argument available. Let me show you again. So logout request matcher, logout request matcher, we have to pass, there is a logout configurer. So you can see logout request matcher we have to use. So for that, there is a different predefined classes available. So we can use logout request matcher. So inside that, new, there is a ant path request matcher. You can see, right, there is a ant path request matcher. So here we can pass our Spring Security provided default logout URL. So this logout request matcher we are using to implement Spring Security default logout functionality. It's very very easy, guys. So exactly, this should be case sensitive, guys. We have to give exactly same like slash logout. Now after that, so now Spring Security knows logout URL, which is provided by default Spring Security. So now we have to define, after logging out, we have to redirect to login page, right? So logout success URL we have to provide. So how we have given a default successful URL after login, so home page we have given. Similarly, we have to give logout success URL. So logout success URL. So here we can give our slash login page. So once you are logging out your application, we have to redirect to login page. So that's it. Very very simple, guys. There are some other way of implementing, some other ways we can implement logout feature. So later I will implement that. This is one of the easiest way to implement logout feature in Spring Security. We can create our custom handler as well, and we can create our custom security filters as well. So there are different ways are there. So those things we can implement later. Okay, so this is how we can implement logout functionality in our web application. This is very very easy, guys. Okay, so now let me go to browser and let me log in again. Let me use the URL to login, localhost slash login, and then I will use java cafeteria at gmail.com, and test at the rate 123 is the password. Click on login button, and then you can see there is a logout URL, right? So you just need to click on logout button. If you check left hand side bottom of the corner, you can see the URL localhost colon 8080 slash logout is being called. So just click on logout hyperlink. So you can see Spring Security is redirected to login page. So this is how we can log out successfully. So if you check, sir, how whether we are able to log out successfully or not, how do you know, how do you confirm whether user credentials are removed from security context or not? So let me prove it. So how we can do, let me log in again by using java cafeteria credentials. Test at the rate 123 is the password. and click on login button. So I have logged in, right? So if you copy this URL, open into another browser, if you copy paste same URL, see, still it is able to open home page without asking credentials, right? So again go to your another new tab and use same slash home URL, click enter. So it is not asking login page, right? Why? Because we already authenticated. Until unless you close the browser, credentials will not be removed from the browser. So that's the reason, even if I open new tab as many number of times, if you access slash home URL, we are able to successfully log into our home page without entering the credentials, since we are already authenticated. So credentials are stored in security context. Now let me click on logout button. So after click on logout hyperlink, so we are redirected to login page. Now if you open new tab and type copy paste that home page URL, click on enter, you can see it is not opening the home page, it is redirecting to login page. If you open as many number of new tabs, click enter home page, so home page is not opening. Why? Because already we are successfully logged out from our web application. Even if you try to open slash home page, it is redirecting, spring security is redirecting to login page. So very simple, guys. Okay, so I will catch you in next